Hi everyone, welcome back to Life Up Education TV. My name is Natsune, I'm your host, and I'm also the author of the book called The Game of Self-Domination. Right here. Okay, so today in this video, I wanted to talk about the beauty of goal setting and just goal setting in general. So the first thing I wanted to address is the same, okay? It goes, let's talk about the beauty of goal setting. The essence of getting goal is not just the D word, it's the person we become by finding the discipline, courage, and commitment to achieve these goals. And this cannot be said better than this. Like, I completely agree. Like, you know, I'm a big believer of like success as not one destination, but success as a whole process and the success as a whole product, right? So what I want to commit is essentially not the destination per se, but I much rather, take the most advantage out of the journey of it instead of getting to somewhere. So I definitely agree in a sense that the beauty of goal setting is not necessarily like, let's get to one destination and call it good, but instead like that action that you're committing, right? Like your commitment counts, your inspiration counts, your willingness to live your life counts, like your work ethic counts. Like these things build your character. And for me personally, when I experience those things, it's much greater feeling than actually achieving something or actually enjoying the D word of it. And I'm not saying that like enjoying the D word doesn't do anything, but I'm saying that there's a greater, a greater growth in that, like in those times that you're actually committed and you're expanding. And that's been my personal experience, so I cannot agree to this more. Okay, the next one, what I think about follower goals. Okay, so let's talk about followers, right? And you know, for a long time I kind of felt like, you know, it's also a generation thing, like millennial thing, where everybody can have fame now, right? Like, and the fame could be very visible, like in terms of your follower counts. And I think a lot of generation, millennial generation, like including my generation, like I was also a victim of this. Not victim, I was also guilty of this, where I thought your follower counts is direct indication of your worth, basically, something like that, right? It's very silly. And I think it's one of those things you kind of graduate from this thinking as you grow. But I definitely, been there, done that kind of thing. And I guess I have three things to say about this. The first one is you just can't control. Like, you can't control how many followers you gain, right? There's some tactics that you can do, but you don't have control over it. So even if you make goals based on the follower counts, like, I feel like some things are out of your control. And when you include the variable that's uncontrollable, that's just so like a macro thing, then I feel like your goal setting doesn't work in your benefit. Like, it doesn't encourage you anymore, because it's like you don't know how, but you have this goal like to get, right? And you don't understand the mechanic of it. Like, I don't know how to get there, right? So in that sense, I think having the follower as a goal could be kind of not so smart way to do so. I'm not talking about, 1 to like 10 followers. I'm talking about like, by next month I want to gain like 1,000 followers, like, but you can't control it. Like, how, right? But that being said, like, I'm not saying that you can't do it, but I'm just saying like it's just something out of your control. Okay. And the second thing I want to say is, like, for example, if we were talking about like less than million follower accounts, like you having like 400 followers versus like you having like 200 followers, for example, or even let's say 10k, like 10k, 20k, like something like this. Like when your account is relatively small, like that amount of followers doesn't make that much difference. So that's the second thing I want to talk about. The third thing I want to talk about is really depending on like what you want out of your account. But one thing I learned, which is very good lesson, I think, from Gary Vee, is he says like, you know, taking mentality never works. And I generally agree. Like when I'm looking for like what else can I take from other people, like my intent is just not good. Like everything I do is so intentional, everything I do is just so transactional, and over time it just doesn't work. I feel like I don't even feel good when I do that. So good thing takes time to build. Okay, so that's what I think. Okay, the next one, what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about this article from James Clear. Okay, let me give you some talk points. There are 3. Okay, so the first talk point is the real challenge is not determining if you want the result, but if you are willing to accept the sacrifices required to achieve your goal. Okay, the second one, the obstacles you have about achieving goals are 2. 1, laziness. 2, burnout. The optimal is to choose the point that allow you to not have neither. Okay, so these are 2 points. Let's kind of talk it out because 2 points are very different. The first point, it's not about it's about sacrifice. Like it's not about the benefit necessarily when you're first starting out, but it's about looking at the sacrifices and understanding like, look, am I able to take these sacrifices? And this is very smart approach. Like this is something I talk about in my book as well. But a lot of people choose their goals based on the benefits that they can get when they get there. But in reality is you are in the journey of getting to that destination or getting there way longer than once you get there. So one of the way I encourage people to do is actually looking at things that they need to overcome. And if you can enjoy that, then you should choose that as your goal because that's your life. That's gonna be your life. So that's what I think. And then the second one, laziness and burnout being the major, 2 obstacles people face. So people should choose a point where they don't have to experience neither. Right, yeah, that's true. And at the same time, I think I'm a big believer of like, if you want to go into something, like go all the way in. And that way you can learn on your own term. Like you don't have to ask for other people who've experienced it, because your experience, you experiencing a particular event has greater learning for yourself, like customized to your feeling, to your context, to your knowledge and everything like that. So yeah, for me it's kind of like, I'm more like extreme personality, so I like to go all in. Like I feel like sometimes I just don't calculate too much of like, if I do this too much I'm gonna burn out, so let's not do it too much. Or like if I don't I never really have like a lazy problem, but yeah, that's how I feel. Like I just don't worry about burnout, because I feel like my thing is, let me go all in, and if I get tired of it, I'm just gonna take a rest as long as I want. And then once I'm done with my rest, I'm gonna come back to whatever I want. Like if I really truly mean to pursue whatever that is, even if I take some time off, like I'm gonna come back to it if I really want it. So I don't worry too much about it. That's it. Okay, that's what I want to say. Okay, the next one. The absolute bottom line is, by sticking to your goal, you don't have to measure how much you achieve by tasks. There are 3 consequences. You gain results, the benefit, skills, and mindset, perseverance. Okay. So, yeah, this is what I wanted to say, is that, like, at the end of the day, like, enjoy your life. Like, at the end of the day, like, don't make yourself suffocated too much on, like, how much did I achieve to my goal. Like, at the end of the day, like, whether you succeed, whether you fail, like, enjoy your life. I mean, that's included in your life experience. So, and even if you fail, you can gain skill, and you can gain the character, like mindset, perseverance, and that itself, that experience itself is very valuable. Like, it's priceless. So that's how I feel. Like, you don't have to get blinded too much on like achievement. Like you don't have to suffocate yourself too much on like how much did I achieve. So I have very like Zen approach when it comes to this. Like I think you should just enjoy the experience. You're never wasting your time, because whatever that happens in your life means to happen, and that becomes you. So that's what I usually advise people whenever they come to me and say like, Natsune, I'm wasting my time. I tell them like, but hold on, like whatever that's not happening to you right now is not here. It's not happening. So meaning that the only option you have right now is that, like, is whatever you're experiencing right now. So you're exactly where you should be in life. And that's it. This was all I wanted to talk about today. So thank you very much for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video.